Obviously, disappointed to go out the trophy. It's a competition Hereford have done well in recent seasons.
Yeah, we got to the final a couple of years ago, and obviously, a great memorable day for everyone, associated with the football club. So, yeah, just really disappointing. Obviously for us, obviously coming off the back of a loss, not a great performance against Peterborough. You want to go there and put on a performance, get a win, and then kickstart yourself. And I guess, well, obviously with the result, it wasn't meant to be.
You have got injuries within the squad, but despite that, you're still disappointed. Because sometimes you can bring lads in and they find it tough going.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the actual game, we brought a lad in on trial, left back, who was a right back, but played him left back. Obviously, Mark got a start, and then I think we had 5 youth team players on the bench. So, and people can look, people will say it's excuses, but the reality is we've got 12 players out. There's players in the squad that have played a lot of games that need rest as well. And if you look at the 12 that are out, probably 7 or 8 of those probably start for us. So, I mean, that's just where we are. I mean, we've been patching ourselves up since I would say about Three Bridges. I think we had 10 injuries in Three Bridges, and then people have been back, and then people have been going out. So, it's been difficult to get a bit of consistency. And I just think that's kind of caught with us a little bit over the last 3 or 4 games where, we've lost some really key players in key areas, and we've not been able to kind of adjust enough, to put on a good performance, but get a result.
You say you brought in a fullback on trial, obviously, and you had to play at a position, as you just mentioned. Is he still with you? Did he get another chance, as it were?
No, no, no. He played the game Saturday, and then no, yeah, we've moved him on. He was obviously disappointed. The lad was obviously disappointed, but it just wasn't a right fit for us. So we've moved him on, and we're obviously looking at other options now.
Given the number of injuries you've got, are any of those likely to come back before the weekend?
Um, yeah, I guess we'll see. Obviously, Aaron was ill with COVID, and that was one of the reasons he was off. And he's still been a bit snotty and a bit coughy. So we'll have a look at that. Jack Evans, I don't think will be far away from that, and I think probably that's about it. To be perfectly honest, I just think we've just been on a bad run, haven't we, with injuries. And you wanted to stop. Obviously, Callum done his hammy after the Peterborough game, and then obviously with Aaron. So you go into the Abridge game with another 2 injuries to just add to the mix. Look, regardless of that, I'd like to think the team was good enough to get a victory at Haybridge, and we didn't. I'm well aware, that the way we're playing at the moment is not entertaining. We don't want to play the way we're playing at the moment. Obviously, we're sitting and being solid, being hard to beat. But I think with the personnel we've got, with the injuries we've got, that's how we have to be. Now, what we don't want to do is go and be really expansive and then be weak and then go and lose the games. Goal difference matters, games matters, points matter. You look at the Telford game, it wasn't a fantastic game, but we ground the result out. Now, we want to play entertaining football. I want to play entertaining football. I want to play high pressing football. I want to get the lads down and play. And hopefully when we get a few bodies back, we can do that. So, we understand the frustrations of the fans because, me more than everyone, I'd like to think my teams have been pretty entertaining and we play football. So it has been disappointing. The lads are disappointed, with the performances of late. We've been able to sit in and be solid and get victories. And I think we've got to a point now where we've probably gone just one too many. So we need to mix it up a little bit and maybe be more expansive now when we get a couple of bodies in through the door.
Are you likely to be able to bring anybody in before the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, we need a fullback for definite. We need a right back. Obviously Skip's still out. Latty's not ready yet. So, if you look at the game Haybridge and the Peterborough game, the reality is we didn't play with fullbacks. So that's a necessity, and that we're really focusing on to get someone in. I'd like to get a wide man in if we can. Obviously, Ryan's suspended for another 2 games, and another midfielder. So, my phone's non-stop. I'm ringing every day. I've been ringing every day since Saturday to try and get some things over the line. So hopefully we'll have a few bits, over the line for Saturday.
And looking ahead to Saturday, as we've said before many times, they're all tough games, but Darlington clearly are a good side this season.
Yeah, just a nice little tough one when you're not playing well. Yeah, I mean, they're a good side. They're in obviously, what are they, third or fourth in the league? Winning games, doing well. They play expansive football. They've got Beck up top goal scorer in the league. They've got Adrian Moke in midfield, who's got bags of experience. So they're a good side. Yeah, they're 4-4-2. They like to get forward. They like to attack. So, we need to get back to, especially at home, being on the front foot, having a bit more high energy, having a bit more of a higher defensive line to really get in their faces and make an impact in the game.
I suppose, given all the injuries you've got, I could be seen to be clutching at straws here. But one of the plus points about him is Mark Derricker, perhaps. He's had to bide his time, obviously, to get a start. He gets a start, probably, for being fair, because you've got a crop of injuries. But he hasn't let you down at all, has he, really?
No, he's been fantastic. He played last night as well in the County Cup. And then obviously the lads won 3-0. Him, Justice, Jack played, Seb played. So he's done really well. He's mature beyond his years, Mark is. And he comes in, he talks organised as well. Look, he is a centre half. If we're going to be honest about it, he's not a fullback. But what he will do is he just wants to play football. So he's gone in there and he's rolled his sleeves up and he's gone with it. Now, for me, I'd like us to get a fullback in so we can put him out on loan to maybe a team in the league below and to get him regular games because he needs regular football at his age for his development. So, that's the plan for Mark moving forward, and hopefully we can do that. I've spoken to a few clubs, obviously Burrows at Hereford, that might be one for him, and we'll have a look at that. But he's been absolutely fantastic, and he's never let us down when he's come into the team, and he's been really, in a dismal period, he's been probably one of the shining lights during this period that you can look at and take pride in his performances.
What about Jack Holmes, Josh, who came in and so hit the ground running, man of the match in his first appearance for the side? I suppose inevitably, perhaps it's difficult to keep to that level, when you come in and have that good a game first up. Is he settling in more now, do you think?
Yeah, I think he's had an adjustment period. I think, obviously we brought him in and then he was straight into the Blythe game. And he was fantastic and did really well. And then obviously we started him in the Fylde game, and I thought the pace of the game was a bit quick for him in the Fylde game, which obviously we made the changes there, and we're just getting him to settle in. I think sometimes with Jack, he wants to impress, so he'll probably have 5-6 touches, and he slows the game down at times, and he wants to beat a man and then beat him again. And we've had a conversation about that with him. And like he played last night, and you know what, he played 1 and 2 touch, and he was by far the best player on the pitch. So he's close, and he just wants to do well and play. And he's a crowd pleaser, 100%. But I think he's one where he's come from 2 levels down. We need to start bringing him on, and maybe start on the bench, bring him on for 20 minutes, and then just get the real understanding of the tempo of the game and the way it flows. But look, he's going to be he's got a bright future, Jack has.
Jared Hodgkiss, you mentioned earlier on, when we spoke last week, I think you said it was looking like could be a long-term job. Do you have any more details? Is it the cruciate ligament? Is he going to be out for a while?
Yeah, I mean, he was doing some jogging today, ran the pitch with Lloydie and Dino. I think he felt it a little bit. Lloydie's probably up to about 75% running now. So I think Yaz is still a bit of a way off, to be honest. We're hoping it's not meniscus. I think that's the worry because of he had his medial ligament damage, and then sometimes with that you get a bit of cartilage tear. So we're hoping it's not that, but at the moment it's not looking like he's going to be back anytime soon.
And you mentioned Ryan Lloyd there. For me, he's always one of those players who gets through a lot of these sort of the stuff that not everybody sees him from. He gets the hard work done. I mean, if you look at the team at the moment, Yaz is our captain, and Lloydie's probably our engine room. So you're looking at the moment where sometimes we're sitting in for a period, and then we've conceded, and you want us to then go out and kick on. Lloydie's got that spark, he's got that energy, he's got that enthusiasm. He'll run, he'll pick the team up on his shoulders, and he'll run for 3 or 4 men, and that's what Lloydie gives you. And we've definitely missed that experience in the middle of the park, 100%. Jeffro's been fantastic. Is Jeffro the same player with Luke? I'm not sure, because they're different types. Luke's a different type of player to Lloydie. And obviously Kane's been in there as well. So we've had a constant change, especially in that middle of the park area. It'll be nice just to go for a period where we can have a consistent team where we can get a bit of run going. Because obviously early on, I know we had a few injuries, but we played a bit more of a consistent team, which correlated to consistent results and good performances. So it'll be nice for us to get back there. But no, Lloydie's 75%, I would say. He's not a million miles away, but he's probably still a good few weeks away from, being, he's not going to be fit for the Kings Lynn game, for example. So we've still got a bit to go with him. I suppose finally, I know you had the County Cup game this week. In terms of I might term first team fixtures, you had no midweek game this week, no midweek game next week. That must be a bonus at this stage, really, given you've got so many players out injured.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to my interview after the Heybridge game on Saturday, one of my comments were we can't handle fixtures at the moment, the congestion, because it's Saturday, Tuesday. And when you've got 12 players out injured, playing Saturday, Tuesday with lads that need rest. You know, Ty's 37. You know, Jared, obviously, I know he's out now. He's 36, and you've got players, you know, like that. That, you know, sometimes Saturday, Tuesday is a bit too much. So, and you know, that is again geared around the way we're playing at the moment, where we've got some Asian players, some players that have been injured and come back. And unfortunately, we can't press and do what we want to do. So we've had to sit in and be solid and kind of counter teams in a way, which is boring. It's probably our plan B. It's probably when you 1-0 up in a game and there's 10 minutes left of the game, you can then do that, sit and be solid and be hard to break down like teams do to us at times at home. But unfortunately, with the personnel we've got, we've had to be like that. So, but what enables us to do with not having a Tuesday game is to be able just to get some training days in, train properly, get back to some of our fundamentals in training and do the basics again. And I think we've lost the basics a little bit over the last couple of weeks just because of the amount of games we've had, and we've not been able to really just hone in on good habits and stuff in training because we haven't had the bodies and we've not been able to train as we would like because of the amount of fixtures we've had. So it's going to be nice now, have a full week this week and a full week next week going into the Kings Lynn game.
That's great, Josh. Thank you for your time.